Hi guys, today we're going to jump into a new concept with figurative language. This should be a review. You should have heard of similes, but today that is what we are going to talk about. But first, let's talk about what figurative language is. So the opposite of figurative is literal. So let's just talk about it. Literal language. That is when you say exactly what you mean, okay? So you make no comparison. You don't exaggerate. You don't understate the situation. It's exactly what you mean. Okay? Mary is always dressed neatly. So Mary always dresses neatly. Every time I've seen her, she's dressed neatly. Mrs. Brown sometimes gives us too much homework. Sometimes Mrs. Brown, that's exactly what I mean. She sometimes gives us too much homework. Not all the time, not every single day. Native Americans believed that the sun was a god. That's a fact, guys. Okay, it's exactly what I mean. Figurative language. You're not going to say exactly what you mean. You're going to compare things. You're going to exaggerate things. You're going to understate situations. You're going to use things like similes, metaphors, hyperboles, and other figures of speech to make your writing more exciting and interesting. Nobody likes to read boring things, so we're going to actually just go above and beyond to describe things. So Mary is always dressed as neat as a pin. That is a figure of speech that means that she's always dressed very neat, okay? Mrs. Brown sometimes gives us a ton of homework. A ton is 2,000 pounds. Does Mrs. Brown actually give 2,000 pounds of homework? No, but I'm exaggerating to get my point across. Jeremiah is a god when it comes to basketball. Is that true? No, it's a figure of speech. It just means that he's really good at basketball. Okay, so for example, this right here is a figure of speech. Which one do we see? Think about it. And I thought that was just a figure of speech. It's so cold that he froze his butt off. Look at him, okay? Did his butt actually, in this picture, it actually froze off. But have you ever said that? I froze my butt off outside. Your butt's still attached to you, right? It's a figure of speech. Makes your writing funnier. Simile, not to be confused with smile. So many of you guys put smile, okay? The answer for what is a smile on your daily editing last week. That's not what we're talking about. We're talking about similes, okay? This is where we compare two unlike things using the word like or as, okay? So the girl was so humiliated that her cheeks turned as red as apples, okay? See how we're comparing two things, the girl's cheeks and apples. Are those things similar? No, except for their color. Next, okay, I want you to remember the two things being compared have to be completely different. Not every sentence that has the word like or as in it, okay, like I like banana bread or I like ice cream, that's not a simile because I'm not comparing two unlike things. So you compare two unlike things using like or as. What two things are being compared? Think about it. She is as pretty as a picture. The two things that are being compared, are the girl and a picture, okay? Jordan runs super fast like a cheetah. Two things being compared, Jordan and cheetah. That boy is walking as slow as a snail. The boy and a snail, okay? So what we're going to do now is you can go and you can look at, if you want to listen to this, you can listen to the similes that Taylor Swift uses in her hit song, Mean. But they're right here. You with your words like knives. So we're comparing words and knives. And swords and weapons that you use against me. You have knocked me off my feet again, got me feeling like I'm nothing. So the person versus nothing. You and your voice like nails on a chalkboard, okay? See how they're comparing the voice and nails. When I'm wounded, you picking on the weaker man. Aren't you glad I didn't sing that? I bet you are. Taylor is trying to say that someone's words are painful and they hurt like the weapons that would hurt her. Okay, so she's using that as a simile. She's also saying that hearing the person's word or voice make her want to cower or flinch and kind of hide from them. Okay? All right. Tomorrow, this is for our review. Let's jump into our show it. So you're going to go to Buzz, click on your ELA class. Wait for your computer to load, maybe. Come on, Mrs. Nugent's computer. Oh, I'm not being patient. Give me 1 minute till I get this to work. Oh, there we go. I'm going to scroll down to week 11. This should also be on your to-do list, simile, show it. Let's take a look. In a simile, what two words are used to compare unlike things? So we said, is it and, almost, like, equals, or as? We said it was like and as. Don't forget, two unlike things. What two objects are being compared in this sentence? Emily is so scared that she starts to shake like a leaf. So the two things I'm going to be comparing here are Emily and this leaf. Okay. What two objects are being compared in this sentence? Hannah is as pretty as a flower. Hannah, and specifically her looks, in the flower. All right, I want you to do 4 by yourself. What two things are being compared here? This party is like a circus, all right? Then I want you to write a simile about yourself. So for me, I would say something like, Mrs. Nugent moved as slow as a sloth down the hallway. Okay? All right? So just tell me something about you or your looks or something that you like to do. Maybe you moved as fast as a cheetah on the basketball court. It's up to you. Don't forget to do number 4. I want you to do that one by yourself. If you have any questions, please let me know.